Hey guys, it's Vic from Grasping the Market and welcome to our market briefing. Today we had no change on the larger time frame. We continue trading within last week's range, and the monthly bar continues developing as an inside bar. But on the daily, we had some important change because we had on Monday, Tuesday, we had short-term balance, judging by the inside bar on Tuesday, and today, well, overnight and today we validated, we broke out of that short-term balance, leaving a gap to the upside. It is important to note that we approach the high of the range, which has relatively no excess at all, and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total bars with highs with proximity from each other. So at this point in time, with this gap, and you will see on the market profile that we left excess at the low of this bar as well, the odds are pretty good that we will test this range high. Well, we are testing the range high. The question remains the question remaining is, are we gonna break from balance, or are we gonna attempt and fail? Basically, we need to wait for that break to happen and see if we get acceptance, solid acceptance above. If we do get that, I think the odds are good that we will at least attempt the 3000 area and the all-time highs. But first we need to see that break happening. So on the market profile, there's very little to add. One thing that I will mention is that in the morning, with the gap up that we had, I was using as a reference the structure from Friday. You can see here that the afternoon high and the double distribution level were two main references in the proximity of the open. So initially we closed that double distribution and we cleared that level, and we started coming lower inside the Friday's afternoon range. Now, the sellers could not make it all the way down to close the gap, and they found no continuation around the settlement from Friday, and then you start rotating all the way back up. And that was it for the day. We continue pushing up, and after a little bit of a pullback on the INJ period, we recharged higher and finally took the overnight high, which was in this area over here. And it's important to also know that we left an incomplete auction with a poor high, no excess at the highs, leaving this open. Like the odds are good that this level will be taken, and notice how close it is to Friday's high. So now the focus for tomorrow definitely is on assessing continuation from this late push. If we get acceptance within that push or even above, it improves the odds that we will reach the high of the range, which is at 45, 46. The level denoting change, I will mark it as, it's the J low, which is the pullback low. And notice that that is just below halfback. So if we get acceptance below the 29 area, the chances are good that we will attempt at least to trade towards the lows, and we will see what happens. But given the circumstances, given this gap, given the behavior here, and given the overall structure of the range, I think the odds are good that we will reach the 29.46 area. I would suggest it's a very difficult because it's an inflection point. Either we go and take it or we go and fail. I think at least we will see a test, but something that we need to keep in mind is that we have non-farm payrolls on Friday, and tomorrow we had ADP employment as well. That can move the market a little bit because the traders use it as a proxy for the non-farm payrolls. But the important thing as well is that on Friday we have Chairman Powell speaking about monetary policy, and that is an important one. So a lot can happen between now and Friday and the end of the week, you could see a lot of back and forth adjustments of positions or whatever. When you have a major reference like the one you have here, that is clear, a major reference, the longer we stay in this range, when you break out of that range, it could be a potent break. And what smart money tends to do is normally they wait, they don't get involved very close to the reference, but they wait for the reference to be taken and then they jump in. So that's why you can have a potent move. Not to mention that there are possibly a lot of stops in that region. So my suggestion is, let's see how that top of the range reacts. But the odds are good that we will test it. And if we do get a push and drive and acceptance above, I think that's definitely a break to go with.